Unnecessary hospital stays are no fun. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and this week we're doing a story time. Now, I look excited, but I'm just really can't believe that this even happened. I'm definitely not excited about what happened. It was not fun. But I'm excited to tell you the story of how ridiculous it was. So, hang tight. So as you guys, if you've been following me, you know I have what's called a Port-a-cath in my chest. It's a form of a central line, and I do IV fluids through my port 5 times a week to manage my POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. So, that being said, every Monday, a nurse comes out to access my port. What that means is just she sticks a specialized kind of needle in it that allows me to hook up. I'm hooked up right now. So this week, my normal nurse was busy with other things. The schedule was crazy, and somebody else had to come out. And I will preface this by saying my port has been notoriously hard to access. It's small, it wiggles, and some people that blows their mind. So the nurse comes out to access my port, and she tries. She swears she's in there, but the port won't flush. Tries again, in another spot, and finally we just there's something wrong with the port. And I'm like, oh shit, I just got this thing. And I'm like, 1,000,001 things is going through my head. Like, am I going to need surgery again? Oh God, what is... But at the same time, I'm in the back of my head, it doesn't feel like anything's wrong with my port. My port feels fine. But being the anxious, nervous wreck that I am, I decided, instead of waiting and calling the doctor, that I would go to the emergency room. Try and get it solved that night, and then, be good to go in the morning. That's what I thought would happen. So I go to the ER, and, central line problems are high acuity things, so I don't spend, even though they're slammed, I only spend a couple of hours in the waiting room. And I get back there, they're checking out my port, and one of the ER nurses accesses my port. Well, I have a lot of numbness around my port because they must have nicked a nerve or something. So I can't always tell if you've missed. I knew it didn't feel right. I was having a lot of pain in it after she accessed it. I'll get to that. I was having a lot of pain, stinging, shooting pains that were not normal for when my port is well accessed. But they left that needle in my chest, and they called my doctor, and my doctor was like, well, we need to do an ultrasound, make sure she doesn't have a clot, blah, 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 and none of that was available till morning. So I'm in there with my grandma, having a grand old time, because I'm completely delirious, because it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and we're starving, just want to get out of there. And so we're well, when we get out of here, we're going to go have IHOP and eat pancakes. And then they come in here and we're admitting you. I'm guess I'm going to have my pancakes on a tray. And so my grandma stayed for a couple more hours, me being delirious, just keeping on entertained. And eventually she had to go. I spent the whole night in the ER with a needle in my chest, waiting for morning to ultrasound it. Not in a hospital bed, but technically admitted, because there weren't any rooms available in the hospital. So I did all of that. My pain starts spiking. They gave me some pain medicine for it. And then they bring down a hospital bed to the ER, which I finally start to get a little bit of shut-eye, but not really. It's kind of like that sleep where You know you're not awake, but you also know you're not asleep. That kind of sleep. That's about all I got. And then I'm like looking forward to getting up to my room so that I can order some goddamn pancakes. And they come in and they tell me I'm NPO. I'm like, off. Like, seriously, all I want is some damn pancakes. Like, really. And, so 5 minutes to 7, right at shift change, all the beds open up. So every one of us that had been trapped in the ER all night finally got a bed. But I had to go get an ultrasound before I could actually get to that room. So by the time I actually get to a room, it's about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning. But I'm still NPO, so I can't order my damn pancakes. They get me all situated and admitted and all that. The meds and the belongings and all the jazz of being admitted to the hospital. And then the vascular team comes in. First thing he does is flush the port. And he notices my port go up as he flushes it. Meaning the needle was not in my port. It was in my pocket around my port. Filled with fluid. Because the nurse in the ER missed my port. So he's all upset. He's like, oh, damn it, now I gotta write up a quality control report. And, which I'm glad that he will go through the effort to do that. So that this nurse gets some better training on how to deal with ports. So he does that. He deaccesses the port, goes off and, like, talks to my doctor, comes back a little bit later after I've had my aunt bring me my IV 3000 because I'm allergic to, like, every other dressing you could possibly put on a port. And even IV 3000 isn't perfect. So my aunt comes with all my IV 3000. He comes back in, accesses my port. Bada bing, bada boom, it flushes, blood draws, it's perfect. There's nothing wrong with my port. This whole thing could have been avoided. There's nothing wrong with my port. And I had just spent some 18 hours at the hospital trying to get my port diagnosed. But there was nothing wrong with it. I knew in the back of my head there was nothing wrong with my port. But I listened to my nurses who said, it's in, it's just not flushing. It wasn't in. I get my port's notoriously hard to access, but seriously. So after all that, they call my doctor, they get the NPO taken off, and I'm able to order some food. But it's lunchtime. You can't order pancakes at lunchtime. So I had to order a turkey sandwich, which is not pancakes. And then I gave up. I was so tired. I was like, I just need to eat something. So I got some food. They got me discharged. Everything was fine. It's just a big hubbubaloo for nothing. So now I'm like, the only person that can touch my port is my normal nurse. I am not having these sub-in nurses who aren't familiar with the way my port moves to come in here and access it. Because, like, it's just, I don't need more of that shit. I don't. So, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more from me, hit subscribe. I'm the Flaming Zebra, and I'll catch you next time.